this, and I'm going to teach you how to poach eggs and how to do it more effectively. But this here is the thick egg white, the thin egg white, and the yolk. So if you're poaching eggs, a great thing that people, if you want to get a really pretty poached egg, is you strain this liquid. As the egg, like say it's just come out of the chicken, you have a really tight protein, this egg white here. It's mainly all protein and some water. But this here starts to deteriorate over time. The older your egg gets, the more this deteriorates, and it will all become really liquidy, right? And so if you've got a really tight protein like this is pretty good, but if it was really fresh, it would be a lot more tight and you would have less liquid. So this is a week and a half old, maybe 2 weeks from the chicken, and it's looking pretty good. But this here will give you stronger proteins than an older egg. So it's quite interesting to look at when people, when you realize what it looks like. Some chickens will create larger yolks, and then small, in comparison, smaller egg whites. Some will have double yolks, and it's the same way that in a human. Someone bought our cookbook. Heck yes. Thank you very much for your order. Who was it? I really like this Science with Molly portion. Thank you. Yeah, so this is, depending on what recipe you're making, fresher or older eggs may play a part. When you're cooking an egg, like as an egg, to make an omelette, to make a poached egg, you want really fresh eggs. If you're making a cake, it doesn't matter as much. If it's like older than a week, it doesn't really matter. But when you're cooking eggs to poach them, you get better flavor, better structure, and better binding if you use fresher eggs. There's so much more to consider this is stuff you learn over time, and I don't ever want to bombard you with information, just stuff you pick up over time, and that's why First Things First is good. It's the guide to getting you started. It's our first kind of guide of like cooking that when I was like first starting streaming and what I wanted to level up as a self-taught cook, I always felt really like I have a lack of knowledge. Like there's stuff that I do all the time and I know and I've picked up, but there was no I've always wanted to learn as much as I can through reading and videos and things. And when people have come to me and they're like, oh, what kind of do you recommend and what I would want as a cookbook or as a guide to cooking, there wasn't really anything. It was either too basic or too overwhelming. And so I think it's pretty great, and Exceed and I are very proud of it. We created First Things First. It started, there's a long